Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Solo React Talk. Tonight I'm going to be reacting to a video requested by Paul Accursed 9071. Hopefully I'm pronouncing the name correctly there. It's a Ross's Game Dungeon game review called Revenant, one of two made on the Accursed Farms YouTube channel. If you guys want to check out my previous reactions to other Ross's Game Dungeon videos, remember the playlist card is going to be at the top here. Just click on it and you'll be able to access them. If you want to check out the original video as well as Accursed Farms YouTube channel, the links are going to be in the description below. Okay, let's start. 3, 2, 1, go.
I have the power! Hey, what's that spell? It's the Game Dungeon.
Okay.
Last episode, we had a full dose of weirdness. Some people told me it made them feel ill or affected their dreams.
It must have been a mind-melting game. Yikes. Those things will leave you wishing that you had sleeping pills or something just to calm the mind and just forget.
So I thought I'd ease off the pedal for now. There's still plenty of weird left in the tank. So today we're covering Revenant. Revenant is a third-person hack-and-slash action RPG. It came in two flavors, rectangular and trapezoid.
Okay. Wait, I'm looking at the picture behind, the two boxes here. I don't know if this is hell or it's something else, I'm not sure, but I can see the people who are chained on some sort of platform that's floating in the air. And yeah, wow. I think this is hell. Interesting.
This is a good game for fall. School started again, you're back on your regular grind, so that probably means you're chained to a floating platform suspended above hell, and now you have all of eternity to reflect on your failures and regrets in life. Just like this guy. His name's Locke, not to be confused with John Locke. That's a common mistake. Now the backstory here is that you used to be this badass warrior king who looked like—
Wow, look at this place. Look at all the spires. It kind of, it gives me the impression of the Valerian freehold in A Song of Ice and Fire or Game of Thrones, It really just gives me the impression of the Valerian freehold. It's nice. It's beautiful.
like Sylvester Stallone's less handsome cousin, I guess. And you were supposed to sacrifice your bride to appease the gods or some crap, but at the last minute you decided, hey, maybe I don't want to kill my wife.
Yeah, don't do that.
Maybe this is kind of a crappy way to celebrate my marriage. Weird, right? Well, the gods weren't gonna have any of your new age subversive way of thinking. So now you're in hell and you're like, man, the afterlife sucks.
Become like Kratos. Break free of your chains, climb out of Tartarus, and kill the gods one by one. That's what you should be doing, Locke. Yeah.
It's a classic scenario I'm sure many of us can relate to. But lo and behold, some creepy cultist-looking guy comes to the rescue, giving you a hand. Probably as part of some sort of community service project. So maybe you shouldn't call the cops the next time you see some cultist in robes chanting around a bonfire. Maybe they're rescuing dead warrior kings. And with that, we begin the game. Okay, the first thing you'll notice is that the graphics are pretty awesome. I mean, sure, it's low resolution, but look at these colors and effects. This game was not holding back. Also, you may notice a magenta shadow under the text. We'll talk about that later.
Where am I?
This is the Game Dungeon.
Welcome back from the dead, Revenant.
I'm just wondering, is the UI always going to be like this? The user interface, like the menu of your inventory and, the depiction of your character and all these other empty slots, is it just going to be like this, or can it be minimized? Yeah, because I would like it to be minimized. I wouldn't want it to cover the screen like this. Yeah, it's not nice. So just minimize if it's possible.
I cannot roll my R's like that. I'm gonna talk over these people. The voice acting in this game is pretty good, although the actual writing and direction range from okay to kind of cheesy. I blame the director here. The voice actors obviously have talent across the board. I mean, listen to this.
Your daughter is nothing to me, as are both of you.
Yeah!
But this spell is strong, and I must obey you.
Damn.
All I ask is that I am free to do as I please once my task is complete.
So the main plot is that there's this evil cult that's kidnapping everybody on the island, including the king's daughter. Just another day in Fantasyland.
Okay, so Sardok is the wizard who resurrected Locke, and then Tendrick, or Lord Tendrick, I should say, is the king, and his daughter has been abducted. Okay. Alright.
So since you're a historical badass, they've resurrected you to go and get her back, and to lay the hurt down on anyone that gets in your way. And part of the resurrection spell is you have to obey the wizard who brought you back. Oh, and you've lost your memory, but it's supposed to come back to you in time.
If you lost your memory, why is Locke so combative? You know, he shouldn't be so combative against those who've resurrected him. If anything, he should be inquisitive about, like, you know, who are you guys? Who am I? Why am I here? What's going on? But instead, it seems as if Locke already wants to immediately escape, you know, break free of this curse or this spell that's on him, and he's doing it in a very violent, combative way. Yeah. It's kind of strange, but okay.
But that's fine. You don't need to know who you are to beat the crap out of people. Wasn't it Descartes that said, I punch, therefore I am? After you're done talking, you're rewarded with clothes and get to wander around the castle. Now right away, the game does something I don't like. If I want to walk somewhere, I have to hold down the mouse button to make him move. In most other hack and slash games, you just click once where you want to go and the character goes there. If you want to run, it's the same thing. You have to hold down the mouse button and the run key. Now,
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I wish they would have used, you know, like the WASD on your keyboard or something else, but this is just not right. Yeah.
you could say that they designed it for a gamepad and not the mouse, but if that's the case, why such a clunky interface? This doesn't look like it's meant for a gamepad. It's like the game's trying to merge a gamepad and a mouse together, but it doesn't work completely for either one. This is the Windows 8 school of user interface design. Anyway, before long, you discover a small side plot going on where some guard let one of the cultists slip through by accident. So the wizard advises the king to kill him. You can talk to him before his execution. I like the exchange here.
Please, you have to tell them to stay the execution.
Stay it? I should perform it. You are a coward. You failed your master.
Bad guard.
What the hell, man? Oh.
In the name of all that is good, I tell you, I could do nothing against the priests.
I hope you have told me everything. Getting information from you later might prove difficult.
Locke might have, you know, forgotten his past, or, you know, his past being erased from his mind, but from his actions it seems as if his personality is still there. I don't know whether he acted this way when he was living his life with his wife, but yeah, man, this is just too much. This is way too much.
No, wait. You have to talk to Tendrick. You must stop the execution. Please, I don't want to die. Please!
Is this what men are like in this age? Begging for their lives like blubbering children?
I like the main character. While he is a little over-sentimental, as you can see, he has a cool British accent, is nobility, has hair long enough for a heavy metal band, is a badass warrior, and he's been resurrected from the dead.
Kane.
Kind of reminds me of someone. I mean, besides myself, but I don't have a British accent, obviously. All I'll say is it's a handy thing that spell compels him to obey the wizard. Otherwise, I don't see much stopping him from just killing everybody in charge and declaring this his new kingdom. Anyway, if you talk to the king about the execution, you can choose whether or not to take the guard's side, but it doesn't matter. They'll kill him either way. Also, the game is bugged as you don't hear the wizard's side of this.
Perhaps a month in the dungeon is more appropriate.
No, kill him.
Rand has been with me since the beginning. Besides, I cannot afford to lose any more men.
You question my judgment? Perhaps you would like to watch me stroke my beard. What do you think about that?
Yeah, this is entertaining. This is entertaining.
Sawdark wheat. It goes against everything I have ever stood for.
I'm afraid my beard has spoken. We have no choice.
I will trust your decision, Sawdark. I will execute the guard Rand for incompetence.
Oh yes, good. So
Man, straight up killing him for incompetence. Wow.
we get to witness an execution, conducted by the wizard, who is the one who instigated this in the first place. So yeah, he's totally not suspicious or anything. You can just feel the justice radiating from this room.
You may leave the castle now and begin your quest.
Sweet, let's go. So
Man, Sawdog. Phew. That was terrible.
you leave the castle and get to run around town. It has what you expect. Your Catwoman weaponsmith with a hideous face, your Cyclops armorer, and your dominatrix dancing on a table. Also, I should mention this game has a full night and day cycle, which adds to the atmosphere, as though it didn't have enough already. Okay, enough loitering. Time to get to the meat of the game, the combat. It looks good. You have your light, medium, and heavy attacks, which drain different amounts of stamina. You can learn a few combos later, and you can see for yourself how good the animation is.
I really love his fighting stance, you know, and the way he moves back and forward to side, you know, with the sword and it's amazing, really. It's so enjoyable to see.
I'm not crazy about adding color splashes to every single attack like they do. I kind of feel like a sword smacking something and the enemy twitching with blood gushing out is its own reward.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Ross here. It makes it look a bit too playful, like we're watching some sort of cartoon or something, or anime. So yeah.
Save all that extra color for the magic spells, but I'm being nitpicky. Sometimes you randomly activate finishing moves. Bam! That's where you belong, you damn spider.
Whoa!
At the bottom of my boot. Hell yes. Awesome. Just awesome.
It's like God of War, you know, when God of the first three God of Wars, in terms of like, you know, the finishing move that Kratos does, you know, when he kills opponents. Yeah, it's something similar to that. I kind of like that. Yeah, very enjoyable.
Now while we're killing things, now is a good time to mention Diablo. The original Diablo is one of my all-time favorite games.
I have to say I haven't played Diablo. My sister has played Diablo. I think Diablo 3, if I'm not mistaken. But I just never got around to doing it, to playing the game, you know. I've heard of the game. I know it comes from Blizzard, but honestly, I just never got around to playing the game.
I'm mentioning this because Diablo really set the mold for hack and slash games on the PC, even to this day. There's so much I like about it. Plus, before Diablo, I used to think I didn't like role-playing games. What I actually didn't like was turn-based combat. I can't stand turn-based combat. My brain refuses to accept it. I always want the characters to just run in there swinging, not stand around waiting for their damn turn like it's the DMV. Now, I'm not saying other people shouldn't play games with turn-based combat, but
No, thank you.
if we're talking about RPGs, I am biased to a fault.
The only turn-based games I would play are, like RTS type of turn-based games. Like Civilization. Yeah, something like that. I would, play something like that, but not an RPG turn-based game. No, sorry.
I can count the number of turn-based RPGs I've played to completion on one hand, and I'm amazed I even got through those.
So Fallout 1 and Fallout 2, yeah.
But on the flip side, I want to say I've played most hack and slash RPGs. For the PC anyway. A good beatdown never gets old. So as far as Revenant goes, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Now the game also has a magic system, but it didn't win me over. To use the magic system, you have to find a glyph. But you're not ready yet. You have to drop the glyph in the magic bag. Then after you do that, you have to combine it with another glyph. How do you know which glyphs to combine it with? You don't. You have to find these scrolls out in the wild that list the spells. But often you don't have all the glyphs you need yet, so you better save those scrolls.
Why is it such a mission to acquire magic techniques or magic spells? Why is it such a mission? No, man, that's unfair. I mean, here you are, you can just be with a sword and you can cut down your enemies simply and easily. But now when you want to make magic, when you want to become like Sardoc here with his lightning attacks, you have to go through so much just to acquire the skill. That's not fair.
Finally, once you know the spell you want to cast and you have the glyphs, you cast it, right? Whoa, not so fast there, cowboy. First, you need to make sure your magic level is high enough to even cast the spell. But if it's high enough and you found the scrolls, you found the glyphs, you've combined the glyphs, and practiced the summoning, then you can cast the spell. But you still have a chance it will fail based on your invoke rating. Oh, and your mana does not regenerate. And that's the magic system. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to smacking things with a sword. The environments in the game look great. You have a cemetery, a swamp dungeon, giant dinosaur bones, giant fish, giant. It's all great. To me, this is what fantasy games are all about. Having fantastic environments. And as I've said on the show before, I have some sort of problem. So I actually went and started mapping out the island because I liked it so much. I didn't finish it because my brain finally woke up and asked me what I was doing, and I didn't have a good answer.
Wow. Hey, it's quite big though.
But I still want to see the rest of it. Maybe somebody can hack the game to generate this the smart way. Now there's a good reason why I selected this game to cover for the game dungeon, besides having a dungeon. And that reason is I can run it. I'm not joking around. I think Revenant is the most temperamental game I've ever played. Remember that magenta shadow? I mean, it's still there. I don't think you forgot it. Well, that's a bug. It's supposed to be transparent, but that is the least of our problems. I bought Revenant a few years after it came out, and it was temperamental even then. I played some of it, but ended up just putting it off, thinking I would come back to it later. Boy, what a mistake that was. I did come back to try and play it. Again, and again, and again. Every couple years would pass, and I would think, hey, that Revenant game looked really cool. I should try to play it. And then everything would go to hell. Sometimes it would just crash and not even run. Other times I would get graphics glitches, some more severe than others. Other times I would get it working, then I installed the patch, then it would be screwed. Then I would uninstall the whole game, reinstall 1.0, and it would still be screwed up.
Yeah, I would have given up. But this is Ross here, and he doesn't give up. And thank you for your hard work. Because if it were me, I'm done.
Like it embedded some do not work function deep in the registry, and the only way to reset it would be to just wipe the operating system. Sometimes I would do that, and then the game would behave differently again. Oh, you want to see your avatar and see your potions? Go fuck yourself. This game behaves differently depending on what video card you have, what version of Windows you have, and what your horoscope sign is. And if that's not enough, one of the values I have to adjust to get this game running properly resets every single time. Sure, it's just a checkbox, but I feel like I'm doing a pre-flight check every time I run this game.
Man, that's not enjoyable at all. That is not enjoyable at all.
Still don't know if this slider does anything. It could just be a placebo. Oh, and hey, let's talk about the speed. Remember in Test Drive 3 how the speed of the game was linked to how fast your CPU was? Well, that was 1990, and that was considered a bad practice even then. Well, this came out in 1999, and guess what? Check out what the game looks like by default. Now,
Yikes.
I really can't complain about the combat being too slow. They do have an option to cap the speed, but then it slows it down more than it should. I did figure out a workaround to cap the frame rate at 30 frames a second so that it makes it run a lot smoother, but then it's a little too fast. Sometimes the conversations interrupt each other.
And this is why I have made the sacrifices necessary to call one such as yourself.
Resurrect me? What do I have to do with all of this?
This game is never happy. Oh, and check out my level load times. This is in real time. Yep. This would.
Well, it's an old game, so it's kind of understandable. But everything else so far, it's a difficult situation. It's a difficult journey you have to go through before you can even play the game. Yeah, I don't have the patience for that, you know. So that's why I'm saying thank you, Ross, for, you know, investing your time, your energy, and your commitment into playing this game, recording the gameplay, and, you know, coming back to us with a full report on this game. Because really, if it were me, I'm not patient. I can't.
Wouldn't be so bad, except you never know when they're coming, and they happen a lot. Oh yeah, here's a great time for a level load. Hey, I have a question to any programmers out there. This game came out 15 years ago. Why is this still happening? I read recently that the Dead Rising 3 team said that people shouldn't try to run the game higher than 30 frames a second because they couldn't predict what would happen and all sorts of glitches could occur. Is there a good reason for that? Are we going to have games that depend on my CPU speed or frame rate another 15 years from now? Is this one of those grand problems we can never solve? Anyway, the point is Revenant is getting reviewed right now, because in the future there are no assurances this game will ever run again. Emulating 3D accelerated Windows 95 games is not fun. If I wait any longer, this game will have me begging to come back to the magenta text. It'll probably turn the grass magenta, just to teach me a lesson. Moving on. What about the music? It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, it sounds like fantastical fantasy type of soundtracks. Yeah, it's nice.
Some of it is okay. Some of it leaves
Oh, I like that one. I like the one with the drums. Yeah, that one was nice. With the ching-ling-ling sound of it. Yeah, that's cool.
me stunned. I don't know who did what because they had 3 different composers, but the mood in this is as good as the art.
I like the ones with the drums. Yeah, the other 2 soundtracks, well, like this one right here, it's okay, but I like the one with the drums. That one was very, it made me want to dance, and that's good.
Whatever else I can say about the game, they really cared about the atmosphere, and it's strong throughout the whole thing. It was also an absolute mess the way it was arranged. There are 7 tracks on disc 1 as high bitrate MP3s. Some of them have minor pops or artifacts. There are 3 tracks on disc 2 that are low bitrate MP3s that are copies of some of the ones on disc 1 that have significantly more problems. And also on disc 2 are Redbook CD audio tracks, some of which I swear have a few pops and skips stamped into the disc itself. I ran exact audio copy trying to extract them and it gave me no reading problems. These happened at the source. So amazing music and kind of crappy audio engineering. What can you do? Back to the gameplay. Okay, so we established the combat is good, right? Well, okay, I thought I liked the combat, but I was wrong. For starters, the enemies respawn. Some of them never respawn until you load the game again. Others respawn as soon as you turn your back. I find
No, that's not good. That is not good. What if it was a very powerful enemy and they just respawn just after you've defeated them? No, that's crazy.
this annoying and lazy. In a hack and slash, I like having a trail of bodies that I know are not going to get back up and come to life. Because why am I killing anything then?
Exactly.
Can it even be called killing? I always prefer static spawns in a game, where when you kill them, they stay dead. Infinite enemy spawning is shit. The combat also has a problem common of a lot of RPGs. Let's look at the stats screen. I choose where I want to put my points, and when I level up, I get them. Sounds simple, right? Well, no, not enough for me. Like for instance, strength determines how hard I hit, but agility determines if I even hit the enemy in the first place.
Isn't agility evasion? Wow, okay.
Okay, listen up, RPG makers. This may be difficult to understand for some, but I actually want to hit my enemies hard and not miss when I swing at them. I don't like having to choose between a drunk boxer that throws air punches or a deadly accurate ninja who tickles people with feathers. Well, that's fine. All I have to do is determine my hit rating. Okay, I have a number. This tells me jack shit. How high does this number need to be to hit my enemies? I have no idea, and the game won't tell me. A number is meaningless without context. How about telling me I have a 15% chance of hitting? That would be helpful. And you might think I'm exaggerating the stats, but no, this is super important to the game. Like at later levels, look, I keep chopping this guy for 1 damage like he's a tree. He hits me for 30, then boom, 151 damage and I break his fucking neck. Now that's awesome, actually, but what the hell kind of spread is that?
Did you see that move, guys? Oh, that was cool.
I'm a resurrected warrior king. You think I conquered my kingdom doing damage like this? This is the game that wants you to aim for some magic stat optimization, but won't tell you what that is. Or maybe it doesn't matter. It could just suck either way. Oh, and while this is realistic, I can't say I'm a fan of the enemies just turning around and running from me when their health is low.
Oh no, that's definitely realistic, you know. In fact, it's even taking me back to Skyrim, you know, when you are defeating an opponent or an animal in the wild, and like their life bar, you know, becomes very low, and then they start running away. Yeah, some of them, some of the humans or any of the other NPCs, they're like, "Oh, I surrender, I submit." So yeah, it's kind of normal, definitely.
Or rather, I would like it if I didn't need the damn experience points from them. They don't come back. The health power-ups are usually not enough to keep pace with how much damage you take. You don't regenerate health until much later in the game, but even then it's slow. And remember, you don't regenerate mana, even when you're at full health.
So wait, you have to acquire mana through what? Bottles? Or water? Or what? That's just not cool. Like, it's a difficulty just to use magic in this game, and that's just not fair.
Health, you can lose it fast. Damn.
3-on-1?
Damn it! Every encounter is a dice toss. You never know if an enemy is going to take 2 hits or 20. The only way to be sure is to save and load constantly. And everyone loves to do that, especially when it takes so damn long. Maybe that's because every save file creates 1,500 files for some reason.
For what? Why? That's crazy.
The combat in this game is medium hard for the wrong reasons. It's not impossible, but it's just annoying and not fun the deeper into it you get.
Wow, Sawdog's people out here, these wizards. Man, so powerful. Tornadoes, lightning strikes. Crazy.
But the cherry on top of this comes about a quarter through the game. Once you've explored this half of the island, you finally make it to some monster village you have to pass through to make it to the caves. But before I can do that, they want me to defeat their mightiest warrior, because hey, I'm the new entertainment. Alright, a boss battle. I can do this. Whoa, he's big. Okay, now let's pause things a minute. Now is a great time to explain an extra layer of mechanics in this game. Besides your stats, you also have to train what kind of weapon you're using. Sword, axe, etc. Kind of like Elder Scrolls games. Well, I've been using the sword because I want to kill things. Swords are good at that. Axes are good at that too. Well, now I find out I should have been bare knuckle fighting all those samurai hanging out in the forest. That makes sense, right? Because fists do as much damage as a sword?
Really?
Oh wait, no they don't. Because you can't cut someone's head off with your fist. Why not give me a warning about this? Nothing. To beat this guy, I have to do it with my fist, which I'm completely untrained in. So
No. And you've been training with the sword this whole time. Oh my gosh.
not only can I not win this fight, but I better hope I have a save file I can load so I can go back and train with my fist for a few hours punching trees or some shit. And if that's not enough, you never need fists again in this game. This is the first and last time you need any unarmed training. What the fuck, game? I haven't seen bullshit on this level in any other action RPG I've played. Did I mention this is not an optional fight? This is bullshit.
Wow. Okay, guys, that was Ross's Game Dungeon, Revenant 1 of 2, made on the Accursed Farms YouTube channel. Oh, yes, requested by Paul Accursed 9071. Yeah, this game looks fun, but it has its challenges. The biggest one is definitely, having the operating system for it to play on your computer. That's a journey that you have to take before you even start the game, and I am not interested in doing something like that. I don't have the patience, so definitely I'm not going to be playing this game. But it's colorful, it has a lot of color in it. The fighting styles that Locke uses, I love how he uses the sword, the swinging and the stabbing and everything. Yeah, that is so enjoyable. And of course the finishing moves, also very cool. However, the ability of using magic is also very difficult. It's a long journey and a long process that seems to be convoluted, and yeah, I just find that as an unfair situation, because when you're with your sword, it's so easy. You just have a sword, you just start swinging around and you kill your enemies. But now with magic, there's a process. You have to get glyphs, you have to get scrolls, you have to combine the glyphs together into a magic bag or something. And then even then, you might not have enough evoke attribute points for you to use your magical powers. So yeah, that's just not right. That's unfair. And also the fact that in this gladiatorial battle, Ross did not know that he had to train with his fists to fight in this battle. He thought that coming in there with the sword was going to be the right thing to do, but the game is like, no, you have to be here with your fists. Like, how was he supposed to know that? How was he supposed to be preparing for that, before entering into the gladiatorial battle? So yeah, that's not fair. That's not right. Not at all. The story of the game is also quite interesting. Locke being commanded by the gods to kill his wife. He did not do it. Then the gods sent him into hell, and he's been chained there for a very long time until he was resurrected by Sodok, the court wizard. And yeah, I wonder, is Sodok going to further manipulate the king for his own nefarious needs, or what's going to happen to this wizard, this court wizard, because he's extremely powerful. And I'm wondering whether Locke, the main character, is going to be, or the player character is going to be the one to kill him, or is it going to be the king himself, Tendrick, or something else. We'll just have to wait and see in part 2. And yeah, guys, that is it for tonight. Thank you again to Paul Accursed 9071 for requesting that I should react to this video. Remember, guys, part 2 will be coming hopefully next week. And if you guys want to check out the original video as well as Accursed Farms YouTube channel, the links are going to be in the description below. If you like my reaction, please give me a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Click on notification bell if you want to be up to date with my latest videos, and I'll see you guys next week. Okay? Good night.